Hi guys, and welcome to week 3. I just wanted to give you a couple updates here and let you know a couple things that are going on, a couple things that have been changed. And the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is the diagnostic essay. So at this point, you should all have taken the diagnostic essay. Hopefully, you all have done that. If not, if there's anybody who was not able to make it to the testing center, you must contact me and let me know. It was mandatory, so we would have to work something out in terms of you taking it, whether you have to come to my office or something like that. So just let me know. Hopefully no one's in that boat, but if you are, please contact me as soon as possible. For the rest of you who took the diagnostic essay, I've gotten a couple questions about how you're going to actually get those essays back. And I've decided there are 2 ways. So let me just tell you about that. So I'm going to finish reading them and responding to them by this Friday, which I believe is February 7th. And at that point, you will have 2 ways of getting the essay back and getting my comments on it. One way would actually be to pick it up in my office during my office hours. And you can find those on the front page of our syllabus. And my office is LA 121. Again, it's listed on the front page of the syllabus. So that would be one way of getting it back. That might work for a couple of you if you have other face-to-face classes and you're on campus once in a while. For others of you who, if you work full-time and you're not on campus, I totally get that. So the other option would be for me to scan your essay and my comments and everything, and email it to you, and that should work well. Now, of course, you all did handwrite this essay. So in terms of you using it as a first draft and a lead-in to your rough draft that you'll write with your research log and your final draft, of course, you're just going to be, using it sort of as a handwritten draft from which you can draw your ideas for that rough draft that you use with your research log and the final draft. So what I'll do is I'll update you this week through email, and I will ask you about which way you prefer to get your essay back, and I will try to get them back to you if I can on a rolling basis. So if I do finish them earlier, I will try to get it back to you whenever I finish them. So that's that. Just let me know if you have any questions about that. So another thing I've gotten a couple questions on is the Dropbox for Essay 1 and for the first research log. People were a little worried they weren't available yet, and I totally get that. So I do want to let you know they will be available before they're due, before the assignments are due, so there's no need to worry. Right now I just don't have them available for you yet, simply because the assignments aren't due for a couple weeks. So the research log is not due until week 4, I believe, and the final draft is not due until week 5. So by that point you'll definitely see the Dropboxes up there, so you'll be able to turn in your assignments without any problems. Okay, so let's see, 1 or 2 other things I want to talk to you about. This is a big one. If you looked at our syllabus and the sort of week by week rundown of what we're doing, you would notice that in week 3 there is a virtual library orientation. One thing I need to update you with this week is the library orientation will not take place until week 4. So we are pushing the library orientation back 1 week. Okay, so, this week, week 3, do not worry about the library orientation or the library orientation quiz or anything like that. That will all happen during week 4. So at that point, before it happens in week 4, I will give you updates about it. You'll get a link to take you directly to the webinar, and I'll give you more information about it as we get closer. So nothing to worry about now. Just keep in mind that it will happen during week 4. Okay, let's see. One other thing, before I go here, we are taking our exciting foray into poetry this week. And, my goal for this week is to have you guys understand sort of the method by which you can analyze a poem. Because poetry is hard. You know, it's notoriously hard, I think, for everyone. So two things you want to do before you actually really read the poems and try to analyze them is I want you to read over the PowerPoint that I have under the lessons tab, which is about analyzing poetry. And I want you to listen to the podcast that I have posted as well. And that is actually a discussion between Professor Jack Tabor, who's here at Mercer, and Professor Fran Davidson, who's also here at Mercer. And they were talking about kind of how to analyze and how to approach poetry. So that could be very helpful for you before you actually get into reading and analyzing the poems yourself. So you want to do those two things and then read the poems. And what I want to leave you with, though, is sort of words of wisdom, I guess, from myself, you know, having some experience with poetry, writing it and reading it and analyzing it. And something that I think a lot of students don't necessarily know is that a poem is not a puzzle to be solved. There's no one right answer to a poem. It's not a puzzle, it's an experience. And that's what I want to leave you with. So when you read a poem, focus on how that poem makes you feel and what the experience of that poem was. And then the next step, you know, getting closer to analyzing the poem would be to think about how did the poet make you feel the way that you felt when you were reading it. And after that, then you can get more in depth with sort of, you know, looking at the imagery and analyzing the word choice and things like that. But first and foremost, experience the poem. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, so I look forward to our discussion of the poems this week. And as always, if anyone has any questions about the reading or anything that's going on this week or upcoming, please email me, let me know. You can live chat with me during my office hours as well on Saturday mornings if you want. And you're also free to come by my face-to-face office hours too. So very nice work so far in the class, and have a great week.